What is up, card nerds? So as many of you already know, we do have a card restriction announcement straight from Bandai, straight from the Union Arena Facebook. This is official and it looks like we're going to be getting it very soon. So I wanted to do a prediction on what I think will happen and what I think would be good for the format. I love that they're implementing a ban list. I think it'll be a way to keep things fresh, whereas something like when EVA came out, it was great to play for a while, and then other decks that were brand new were not being able to be played just because EVA blew them out the water. So for that reason, I am very excited to have a ban list in Union Arena. Hopefully this is a reoccurring thing. I know in other games we have like every 3 months they'll release a new ban list, or after big events, after a certain season or whatever it may be. So I hope that they communicate with us and let us know what the plan is and let us know ahead of time before some of these events start to happen, because there's a regional happening in a couple weeks. So if this ban list drops this very soon, maybe it won't be in effect for that regional. So we just want communication and clarity. But all in all, I think it is a great move by Bandai and something that I am very excited for. So with that, let's get right into it. So for me, this is my tier list. I don't have everything in here that I would want. It's just kind of like a sample. So I have the top 4 decks, EVA obviously and Red Kenchin. So in a ban list, what I think, the way that I see it going is them just hitting these decks enough where it makes them all be, you know, somewhere in here, kind of like this. So instead of having an S tier and then below it an A tier, we have them all kind of be A tier in the same level. And I think that'd be best case scenario. I don't see them straight out nerfing these decks and killing them, making them C tier or anything, because we have that list that they got in Japan. It doesn't look like they're trying to hit it too crazy hard. So for that reason, my list is going to be based on just taking these down a tier, but them still being A tier, still being tier 1, but just along with many more decks, which would be nice because now you see more variety. So I think those 4 decks is the only things that really need to be hit. Kagurabachi, once these get hit, Kagurabachi may be a little bit too strong, as well as the Shadow Army deck, but those are a lot newer, so I can see them not being hit yet. So for that reason, we're gonna start with Yellow EVA. I think Yellow EVA, first and foremost, the 3-cost Ray should be hit to 0. I think they hit it to 1, but I think even with it being hit to 1, the deck is still strong. This being hit to 0 might be a little too much. So it could be just to 1 and it'll be, you know, bring it down a peg, but I still think the deck might be too strong. So for that reason, in my ideal perfect world, and to make this list make the deck actually drop down a tier, I would put this Ray to 0, the Nullify Impact 2 cost that buffs. Alright, next we're going to move on to Red Kenchin, which I think is the second best deck right now. I have 2 ways of hitting it. Number 1, I would say, excuse me, I would say put the Searcher. It's an active trigger, 1 cost, raid name. It does everything you want it to do. I would say put this one to 2 would be a good hit. But I think even putting it out 1 would be better. I think 2 maybe it still wouldn't be put the deck down enough. So I would say put it to 1, but in reality that's an option. But I think instead of that, I think they should just hit the raid, the 4-cost raid, the pushback raid to 2. So The pushback raid off of life is game ending a lot of times. It is so strong out of life. It is impact. It is a pushback. It does everything you want it to do in the Kenchin deck. So for that reason, I think hitting this Kenchin raid to 2 would bring the deck down a bit. I could also see the argument for the other raid going to 2 instead of this one, just because the other raid sometimes puts that initial pressure with an open board where they just get like 3 or 4 swings, and now it's an issue every turn unless you have removal or play a removal deck. So it kind of gatekeeps a lot of other decks. So I can see that happening as well. But for purposes of this list, I think putting this Kenchin to 2 is what I'm going with. Next we have the Willy deck. Not the Willy deck. The Willy deck needs to bring that 1 cost back. But the Spear deck. So Spear deck is one of the best decks, obviously, and I think an option would be putting the Wonder Raid to 2. Opening with this early just makes it so consistent. It's a force block, so it puts pressure. It dilutes your board presence, as well as you block with it to get your resources to be able to combo off next turn. So all in all, a fantastic card, obviously. I don't even have to explain this card. So that's one way of hitting it, but I'm gonna do something a little unique with this deck. I know the Asuka was hit, and the Spear of Gaius were hit in Japan to I think it was to 0 for the special, and the Asuka to 0 or to 1, something like that. But it might have been 0. I think another interesting way of doing it would be hitting the Shinji. So hitting the 3 cost, well 5 cost, but it's essentially, it is a 3 cost. Shinji can bring down the power level of the deck quite a bit. Hitting the Asuka and the special hits the top end a little bit more, but the special obviously can be replaced. It just can't be searched, and the Asuka just gets replaced by a Mari. But it is an active trigger that the Spear deck would lose. But here, you would lose an active trigger. You lose a raid target. You lose a double energy. You lose a target for Mari to bring back. That's 4K. That's nullify impact. So all in all, I think this would do a lot more than what Japan did, and this would actually bring it down a level, while Japan's just made it a little bit weaker, but still in that tier on its own, in my opinion. So I think this would be a cool, very unique way of hitting the deck, and you'd have to just replace it with another double energy, because you need double energy, so you can't just be like, yeah, let me just throw in the Mari and instead, because now you don't have enough double energy. So this would be a little bit more interesting. And then finally, the Red Eva deck. So the Red Eva deck is very difficult to hit, because what do you hit? You might hit the Ray names, the just maybe hitting one of the names to be at 1, so that they don't get the 3 attacks consistently. It's already sometimes not too consistent. So that's one way. But I think another way to hit it is by making one of these 2 raids, the double block raid or the 6-drop raid, hitting one of those to like, you could only play one or the other. That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, you either play this one or this one, kind of like the restriction with Sukuna with the fingers, where you could only play one or the other. So I think that'd be a cool restriction with this, where like, okay, you could either play the 6 or with a higher top end, or you play the 4 with the double block and a little bit more consistency. So I think they're both very good, obviously, in the deck, but I think this would be a unique way of hitting it. But if I was to just hit one, I would maybe just bring down the 6 cost to 2. If they just wanted to hit one. I'm not sure if that would be enough, but not being able to see this card as often to combo it off with the 7-drop Shinji would be nice, but this deck does filter quite a bit, so I don't know if that would be enough. But the deck already has a bit of a consistency issue, so maybe that would be enough. So it's just something to think about, but I think in an ideal world for me, it'd be you could either play one or the other in the deck, and that would be good enough to slow the deck down quite a bit. But then again, that might bring it down a little too much. But yeah, that's just some of my thoughts, some of my theories, and you guys let me know in the comments what you think should be hit, what you think will be hit. Do you think that my takes are pretty awful? If you do, that's totally okay. This is just my opinion on something that I would want to see, just so that all the decks are kind of on the same playing field, and make locals and regionals be diverse as can be. All right, so with that, I'm gonna leave you guys with that one, and hopefully I will see you guys at the next regional, and we have the ban list up by then. So I'll see you guys there. Peace.